This is Duke University.
Hey guys, we're gonna get started. Thank you all so much for coming out. Welcome to the 15th annual Duke Startup Challenges Demo Day.
We're really excited about tonight's event and just want to thank you all for coming out once again. Tonight we have some of Duke's most ambitious and entrepreneurial students here.
My name is Brian Silverman. I am one of the co-presidents this year. I am a junior in Trinity majoring in neuroscience, as well as the co-founder of Star Toilet Paper and Install Media.
And my name is Janet, and I'm also a co-president, along with Tushar Kurtain and Adam Berkland over in the other room. And it is our pleasure to be your MCs for the evening, for the 15th annual Duke Startup Challenges Demo Day. As
Janet said, you're going to hear from some of the brightest, most ambitious entrepreneurial minds here on campus. And it's great to see you guys here supporting entrepreneurship on campus here at Duke as well. As we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit more about the Duke Startup Challenge. We are one of the few campus-wide organizations that provide seed funding and resources to students to help bring their ideas and turn them into companies. Our goal is to foster entrepreneurship on campus and really enable our Duke students to take their ideas and turn them into full businesses.
The Duke Startup Challenge has various rounds, starting with idea summaries, Indiegogo campaigns, and finally, a summer innovation program. The finalists from the summer innovation program will be invited to pitch in front of a live panel of investors for a chance to win the grand prize of $50,000.
As Janet said, we are doing crowdfunding through Indiegogo this year to help our teams raise money for their summer innovations program. Campaigns are going on after tonight, so you guys can continue to support your favorite teams all the way up through March 8th. And just so you guys can see how well it's been going thus far, round 2 teams have already raised over $40,000, and we hope to see that number continue to climb.
So the first major event of the year is Demo Day, which of course is today. For the past couple of months, teams have been busy putting together documents and submitting them for judging, as well as getting support from all around the world through their Indiegogo campaigns. And as you can see, we have Duke teams from all over campus participating.
There are 26 teams here tonight, split between this auditorium and McClendon Auditorium, and they're all going to be doing the same thing. Each team will have 3 minutes to give their pitch. Then there will be one audience question that any of you can ask, and they'll have 1 minute to answer that question. Tonight, up for grabs for the teams are 2 prizes. The first prize is the Judge's Choice Prize for $1,000. We have judges watching live, as well as judges that will watch the recorded version. We'll be voting on their favorite teams for the pitches tonight, and then we will award that prize in a couple of weeks. Tonight, we will be awarding the Audience Choice Prize. That's going to be $500, and at the end of the night, all of you will be able to vote via text message for your favorite team. Now, just to let you guys know, only people who are here are allowed to vote. Once voting is completed, we're going to confirm with a hand count, and hopefully your favorite team will walk away with $500.
So before we introduce the finalists, just want to thank the judges again who are live streaming in and also reviewing the presentations over the next couple of days.
And of course, none of this could have been possible, not tonight, not this whole entire year, without the generous support of our sponsors. So let's all give a hand to our sponsors.
So without further ado, let's have sports mode up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Chong. I'm a MMS student at Fuqua. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about sports mode. So we found sports mode based on data that we found from market research. We found sports mode based on consumer demand and results-driven action that has been taken to identify the needs. So let me ask you, the presentation asks you, how many of you believe there's a positive correlation between health and exercise? Everybody? How many of you want to get those sexy abs there for spring breaks coming up? I know I do. So, but the problem is we know so much, but the data shows that 80% of Americans don't exercise enough. That means like if American can our citizens can spend 21 minutes less playing Flappy Birds and put that into exercise, and it will be fine. Majority of the gym membership is put unused. In 2013, we conducted primary research and secondary research, and we found that 86% of consumers indicated that they would like to be more active, and majority of the consumers would actually indicate that they would like to have a supporting system to help them to get into exercise. So that's how we come up with this idea, sports mode. And this user interface indicates the 5 major functions that we identify that can help consumers to achieve a healthier and a better lifestyle. So things we cover are going to be event search, people search, check function, information center, and our unique reward system. So from every action that you take, we want you to take your time and put in your action and become a healthier individual, and to give you your time to achieve this positive lifestyle. So sports mode is basically we're creating a positive reinforcement loop, and there are competitors out there, there are competition out there, and we have identified several of them. However, none of them really comprehensive as what sports mode is going to deliver. But this is a trend, market trend that we see. For example, Nike Fuel Band, everyone knows now Nike Fuel Band. They have 25 million users at this point. But from our research, we indicated that 80 million users in the United States that we can potentially acquire. So there's many opportunity out there. So this is a team, 3-people team. Me, Coach, I'm a Fuqua student, and so I'm in charge of all the marketing, execution, and Yang, my buddy in Houston, is in charge of art and designs, and we have a developer. And at this point, we are asking for you to give us your help, to give us the funding, give us the support, so we can put this sports mode into reality, to help the society to create a better value, to create a better health style, and to create a healthy community. So thank you very much. Nice and sweet. Any questions? Yes. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Sure. The main difference, for example, Nike Fuel Band, as you indicate, that Nike Fuel Band require you to have a device to access to this massive community, and that device costs you $155 roughly. And every time when they update the device, you have to buy a new one in order to continue to access the community. For sports mode, it's free. It's free for use, and everybody can use it. So that's a major difference. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's the clicker? Hi, my name is Peter. I'm the founder of Power Trends, along with a couple other students who are not here tonight. And we have a vision. And our vision is we want to put solar power for the U.S. residential home. We want to put it on every home in the United States. And we want to do that with a very high return on the investment. Okay? What we are is a company who is going to put this solar power generation on every rooftop. We are a service company, and that company will be the installer of solar panels and roofing. Okay? We want to add value to the roof. That's our unique proposition. Power Trends will be a service provider and installer of residential roofing. What are these things? Let's get down to it. This thing is a flexible PV panel. Flexible PV panels have been around for years. Oh, sorry. So flexible PV panels have been around for years, and these flexible PV panels are very unique. They actually compete with the current PV panels on the efficiency and energy. Okay? But there's a problem. They do not fit on your ordinary asphalt, shingle, or clay rooftop. Okay? But they are 10 times easier to install. They are 10 times more cost effective to install, and they last just as long, and they provide roofing for and protective roofing for the house. Okay? But like I said, we need a solution to get it on the roof. How do we do that? We got to revolutionize the roof. We want to revolutionize the roof by making a plastic composite board. And that plastic composite board is basically made up of recycled materials. It will last 40 years. There's already roofing components out there in the shingle form that will last 40 years. We want to do that, make it a tin roof style so that we can roll these things out. Like I said, The installation of this is very easy. Okay, it'll look like this. All you have to do is simply roll this out, peel the backing off of it. This is sticker base, and it just sits there, produces electricity. It's plug and play. It's plug and play. Very simple. I'll let you guys play with that. I'll pick that up at the end. All right. So that's our proposition right there. Ooh, what did I do? Can you help me out there? I'll let you click. Technical difficulties. Technical. I want my 30 seconds. All right. So where's demand, right? The opportunity is there. The residential solar market is going to double from 5 to 10 to 20, up to 2 billion by 2020. We want to ride that wave all the way to the top. McKinsey just put out a report last year that whoever can find a way to install solar panels on houses will win, and they will win very, very big. Okay? So who are our customers? Obviously, you have to have customers. Any U.S. residential home that is willing to put on a roof. What we want to do is we want to capitalize on that market who has the funding to put on the roof. Okay? Is that 30 seconds? All right. So that's our customer segmentations. Do people like this proposition? Yes. They love the roof. They love putting it on the roof. We have the data to support it. Okay? Costs? Much simpler. Not only with the same cost as a typical PV panel can you put this on, but you can actually get, instead of a 2 kilowatt system, or 2 kilowatt system, you can get a 3 to 5 kilowatt system for the same price and a brand new roof that'll last you 40 years. That's our proposition.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
So next up, we have Med3D. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, give us 1 second. We have one question for the audience for Power Trends.
Sure.
Someone?
Go ahead.
My question is,
what would be your competitive advantage?
So our roofing product, our roofing product is actually pending right now. So this is something that we know is not on the market currently, and we're able to capitalize on that.
Thank you. And now we have Med3D.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking if you would please raise your hand if you or somebody you know has been affected by breast cancer. It looks like a lot of you have been touched by this disease. 1 out of 8 women in this room will develop breast cancer over the course of their life. It is extremely important that breast cancer is detected at its earliest stages so that we can increase the chances of survival. It's been shown that annual mammography screening can reduce mortality. However, unfortunately, because it only provides a 2-dimensional image of a 3-dimensional object, which is the breast, there are a lot of cases that cancer can be missed, or even false positives can happen. That is why mammography is the single most demanding diagnostic task in radiology. The good news is, there's this new technology on the horizon which can help reduce the callback rate of the mammography and increase the detection rate by providing 3-dimensional images of the breast. Digital breast tomosynthesis is quickly being adapted into practice now. To make sure that these systems are working properly and that the quality is adequate, they get tested every day. You'll be surprised to learn that this block of plastic has been used for decades as a breast model to represent a breast model, a breast anatomy, for quality assurance testing purposes. With the emergence of 3-dimensional imaging, it is more and more apparent that there is a need for realistic, human-like breast models that actually have 3-dimensional structure inside of them. This is why regulatory organizations, manufacturers, and scientists from across the US and Europe are getting together right now to revise the standards for quality assurance testing. And this is where Med3D solution comes into play at the right time. Med3D presents physical breast models that are created directly based on human subject images. We have developed an extensive library of real high-resolution images of real women, which we then translate into physical breast models by employing customized 3D printing techniques. So far, we've created several successful prototypes. These prototypes can generate realistic breast anatomy in 2D and 3D images for the very first time. The prototypes have received a lot of attention in the community. They're invited to conferences and task groups. They're under review by regulatory organizations as well as manufacturers, and they have given us a lot of positive feedback. It is the dream of our team to be able to fill the gap in quality assurance testing of this next generation of breast imaging, so that every mom, every sister, and every daughter has access to the highest quality breast imaging. Thank you very much. There's definitely like a gap between how people view this annual mammography screening over the world. There's like recommendations to do annual, or some people might think that it is actually overdiagnosing. But this new technology, which is providing three-dimensional information, tomosynthesis, in conjunction with mammography, has been proven to increase the detection rate by 40% and reduce the recall back rate. So it's the combination of these two modalities that is going to help with the screening.
Thank you. And next is Campus Companion.
Testing, testing. Are we ready? Testing, testing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jordan, and this is Alex. And our service, Campus Companion, is going to dramatically improve personal safety on universities. Let me explain. Currently, universities rely heavily on emergency phones for safety and security on campus. These fixed poles can be used by students to contact police. Unfortunately, though, universities can spend upwards of $100,000 a year just to maintain these, not even to install them. And despite that cost, they're ineffective for their two main purposes, for emergency response and criminal deterrence. This is mainly because they're sparsely placed across the universities. For example, at Duke University, there's just one of these fixtures for every 6 football fields worth of area on campus, making them largely ineffective in an emergency and easy to avoid by criminals. Our solution is to transform every smartphone on campus into a help point from which students can send for help with GPS, media, and student info to police, discreetly and quickly. And campus police can visualize this information on a map and act accordingly. This is a hardware-free, cheaper solution that's more effective because now you have thousands of mobile help phones on campus. Alex is going to talk about our product.
Thank you, Jordan. Thus far, we've developed 4 main features after discussions with Duke Chief of Police John Daly, as well as students on campus. But I'd like to focus on 2 of them with you tonight, Checkpoint and Connect. The Checkpoint feature allows you to select a destination and estimate a time of arrival. And if you don't reach your destination in time, we'll send an alert to campus police. For example, this is a great tool if you're walking to your car late at night. The Connect feature, on the other hand, is a discrete trigger that allows you to connect police without potentially alarming an attacker, such as by tapping a button or pulling your headphones. The app runs in the background and notifies police through the command portal. Police can use a secure login system through a web browser and have access to the GPS coordinates of the students, the capability of sending mass notifications, and the ability to view detailed student profiles in order to reduce response times on campus.
From the beginning, we've been working hard on our ultimate goal to get this service out on the campus and to students. We know that students want this service, and after talking to Duke Chief of Police John Daly and other campus administrators, we know that the university is interested in a product like this. But just like any other new technology, there are some concerns that they want addressed. And we've been working on addressing them so far, doing several product iterations based on their direct feedback. Unfortunately, some of these challenges are difficult to address simply with hard work. And so this is where you guys can really help us tonight. With your vote, The funds that we will get will go directly towards getting this onto campus sooner than we possibly could otherwise. And also you can support us by signing up for beta testing on campus, which will be running soon. This allows a unique opportunity to directly contribute to the features that will be in this product and help us make the best product possible, not only for Duke students here, but for students around the country who might use this in the future. Help support us tonight and help us make the university experience a safer one. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we didn't mention. Sorry. Yeah, we didn't mention that in the demo, unfortunately, because of time constraints. But actually, there's like a 5-second grace period. So two things actually. First, you have to enable the product before it can be used. So to help cut down on false alarms, people have to consciously turn it on. In addition to that, after you set off one of the alarms, there's about a 5-second or 10-second grace period before it actually sends an alert to police, allowing you to notice it and maybe turn it off if it's just a false alarm.
Using a disarm code.
Yeah, and with a disarm code, so that not just anybody can turn it off.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. And, next is diabetes doc.
Clicker.
Hi, my name is Emily Garber. I'm here from Midtuit. Thank you all for being here. I would like to start out just by asking you, with a show of hands again, how many of you know someone with diabetes? Yeah, most of the people in the room. This is a widespread issue, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about a problem that faces people with diabetes, as well as our solution to that problem and where our team is at in solving it. So today, 1 in 4 patients in hospitals in the United States actually have diabetes, so it's a widespread concern. They may be in the hospital for a number of reasons. They could be coming in to have a baby, for cancer treatment, whatever the reason may be, and they have diabetes. A concerning statistic is that insulin errors cause 1/3 of all fatal deadly medication errors. This is a widespread concern, and unfortunately, not every time you come into the hospital do you have a safe experience. And so our team has created a mobile app that is a solution to this problem through providing point-of-care guidance to help physicians who may not be diabetes experts provide expert diabetes care to their patients with diabetes through use of our app, which is based on clinically validated tools and guidelines created by endocrinologists at Duke Hospital to make sure that the incidence of these insulin-related errors are decreased. So I'm going to let Rebecca tell us a little bit about our business model.
Thanks, Emily. We are taking a 2-pronged approach to helping ensure improved diabetes care in hospitals. First of all, we would like to raise awareness and understanding for the product by offering a light trial version of the app on the iTunes Store. And then secondly, to generate revenue and to make this tool widely available to offer licensed subscriptions to hospital and other medical institutions. We have several key milestones to getting there. I'll highlight 3 of those major milestones for you. First and foremost, we already have a prototype developed thanks to our technical co-founder. We would like to test that in clinical trials this spring and look forward to doing that. Compared to hard copy tools that are currently a major way of doctors dosing insulin, which is creating a lot of challenges and errors, we see this app as an excellent opportunity. Secondly, we plan to optimize the app following the clinical trial and offer it on the iTunes Store. And then by the end of 2014, offer licensing sales to hospitals. We are currently in discussions with Duke Hospital about integrating it into the Duke Hospital system. And thank you all very much for your time here today. On behalf of our technical, medical, and business co-founders, we look forward to embarking on this next stage to take this product to market within the year with your support. Thank you very much. We are estimating at about $50,000 because we have a team of medical experts, including the head of the chair for glycemic safety at Duke Hospital, a pediatrics expert in managing diabetes for children, a technical programmer, co-founder, as well as business colleagues on our team. We're able to bootstrap a lot of what would normally cost a lot of money for teams and bring this to market fairly quickly with about $50,000 for our first sales. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rajvi. I'm the founder of Let's Be Well Read. Let's Be Well Read is a social venture in India that aims to combat the widespread prevalence of iron deficiency anemia. In 2010, I suffered the consequences of low iron levels in my blood. And when I realized that there were over 900 million people in India who go through this on a daily basis, I wanted to do something to help them. Anemia is a huge public health problem in India that accounts for 65% of the maternal and fetal deaths in the country. So anemia is a big public health problem, but it has a very simple solution. All you need is an adequate amount of iron in your diet. Yet for some reason, this massive problem still persists. To understand the problem a little more, Let's Be Well Read conducted anemia testing and treating camps in 2011 in the urban slums of Mumbai, where we tested and treated over 5,000 anemic women. And what we found through our patient interactions was that people were looking for a simple solution to their problem. Apart from spreading awareness, they wanted one single food product that contained the WHO recommended daily dosage of iron. When we surveyed the Indian market, we found no such product. So after a year's effort, Let's Be Well Read created our very own Goodness bars. Goodness sells at a very nominal price of 10 rupees. Further, with 14 milligrams of iron, Goodness suffices the iron requirements for both adult males and females. In just 1 year, Let's Be Well Read has sold over 100,000 Goodness bars in India. And so we started in 2012 in 5 schools in 1 state. And in 2013, we've spread to 25 schools, 4 NGOs, and 5 retail outlets in 3 states. Our production capacity has increased from 10,000 Goodness bars in 2012 to 100,000 in 2013. But this is not enough. We want our simple solution to be available to every single anemic individual in India, and we need your help to make this happen. Recently, with your help and support, our team led a very successful Indiegogo campaign where we raised over $10,000 to start a production unit in the South. But we want to reach our goal of $50,000 so that we can make our solution available to 3/4 of India. We want to spread our services to the North, the South, and the West. To support our accelerated growth and impact, we hope to hire a 3-person sales team to actively penetrate our distribution channels. We also hope to expand our product line to include new flavors of Goodness and to cater to populations with special iron needs like pregnant women and young children. We also hope to reduce the cost of production for Goodness bars from 10 rupees to 6 rupees by entering into LLPs with our current production and distribution channels. So with your help, our team at Brown, at Duke, and in India hopes to reach our goal and spread even more goodness in India. Thanks. Sure, so we actually have a slide. So in terms of distribution, we divided the Indian market into urban areas and rural areas. In urban areas, we divide them further into middle and upper income areas, and we have urban slums. In the urban upper and middle income areas, we just go by retail and direct sales. So we look into schools, NGOs, individual orders, orders from the government. In both urban slums and rural areas, we first have to spread awareness before introducing our product. So we tie up with NGOs and the government to have anemia testing and treating camps, and then introduce them in local chemists, grocery stores, and also in government schools. And we're actually working on a project with the government of India. And if that goes through, we would be supplying almost 100,000 bars a day to government schools in one of the states. Thank you so much.
So next, crowd
Hi, my name is Joe Bartel. I'm a current MBA student here at the Duke Fuqua School of Business, and I'm going to introduce you to our company, CrowdTunes. But first, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you responded to a page by feeding a quarter into a payphone? Probably not very recently. So why in the world are we still feeding dollars into these dollar-devouring dinosaurs called jukeboxes? The jukebox is totally out of date and out of touch with the consumer market today. The jukebox does not provide the dynamic environment that bar owners and patrons are looking for when it comes to their music management solutions and their music preferences. Us at CrowdTunes, we saw this as an opportunity and created a product to solve it. So let's talk about how our product works. First, from the perspective of the bar owner. The solution can be downloaded in less than 5 minutes, is fully licensed, completely free, and totally legal. The solution offers an opportunity for the bar owner to advertise, display logos and messaging to the audience. And lastly, I mentioned the product is totally free. So from the perspective of the venue, patron, patrons are able to roll into the bar and rock out. Basically, they have complete control over the playlist. Sure, maybe on a Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock, there's no one using the application. But on a Friday night when there's 30, 40 people trying to impose their will upon the crowd, you're able to transform it from a static playlist into a dynamic marketplace where market effects will dictate the price of the song to be played next. Furthermore, our product is totally socialized and gamified, is as much in line with a lot of the popular apps today. In summary, we're trying to revolutionize this jukebox. But more importantly, we've proved it. We've been able to, with the help of a student here, we've been able to build an app, and we've been able to generate approximately $1.89 in revenue per song. The current competitor in the marketplace makes it roughly $1 in revenue per song. We have bar owners asking to use it again, and we've gotten unsolicited investment offers from these owners. Based on these numbers, we figured out that our total market size for the music solution alone is $90 million. That's $15,000 at $1 a song and 3 nights a week. Extremely conservative numbers, but we know we can go more places. We know that there's tons of other venues that use that consume music in the public domain, including gyms, gyms, and bowling alleys, for example. Lastly, the marketing real estate on the screen is extremely valuable and provides an excellent monetization opportunity. Lastly, our team. We've got a cross-functional team from Duke representing the Pratt School of Engineering, Fuqua, as well as the law school. We work extremely well together. We all have previous entrepreneurial experience, and we're very passionate about this. Any monies raised from this startup challenge will go towards securing our final licensing agreement, as well as securing content with our digital music provider.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so the licensing piece is a really good question. We're actually working with a former lawyer for TouchTunes, which is kind of the big player in the market today. The way that you deal with the licensing, there's 2 different pieces. There's performing rights organizations, which allow the public performance. They're actually quite easy. We're just a digital jukebox. The more kind of complex piece of it, this however you want to look at it, the copywriting, actually goes directly through the labels. And there's digital music content providers. 7 Digital and MediaNet are the 2 main ones that you actually source the music from. So it's actually something we've already figured out how to do, and we're on the path to doing. And Joe didn't mention, but we've got a prototype on the App Store now, and that's why we're using it in bars around the Durham area. So thank you very much.
And next we have Vivera Designs. 1 second.
So we've all been victims of fast fashion at some point in our lives, be it lowriders or neon jumpsuits, cape dresses, and whatever that is. But it's all right, because throughout all this experimentation, we discover our own styles and figure out what works for our bodies. Now the problem is figuring out where to get precisely what we want when we want it. Introducing Vivera Designs. Vivera Designs' video would like to play. Do we get 30 seconds off on this one as well? The video is supposed to play by itself. Can you restart to the beginning, please? Brilliant. Introducing Vivera Designs. Vivera allows you to customize your own dresses through our 3D game platform. It's simple, specific, and fun. There's no technical knowledge needed. You simply pick your hemline, pick your neckline, and pick the fabric. Feel free to play around with all sorts of different combinations because the calculator in the corner will keep track of how much your dress will cost. You can even change the model and its environment so that you can play around with all sorts of different looks to go with your dress. As you can see there, when you're done, you just simply plug in your measurements or the measurements of somebody else, say a bridesmaid, and your dress will be made. Vivera is the answer to the problems that fast fashion creates. Vivera is able to do what fast fashion simply was not created to fix.
The clothing industry's focus on fast fashion neglects classic styles, even though they're constantly in demand. In order to compete, clothing companies often sacrifice quality and are forced to mass-produce garments that rely on standard measurements. This means that consumers have a hard time finding quality garments that last, and finding petite, plus-size, or precision-fitting garments can be even harder. Vivera bypasses these issues by focusing on quality, fit, and customization. Anybody can use our 3D platform, and we decrease consumer risk by acting as mediators with Chinese manufacturers. But consumers aren't the only ones affected. Clothing companies that create these designs often have to face uncertainty in trends and uncertainty regarding how much volume to manufacture. It means that they face low profits as a result of intense competition and high levels of unsold inventory. Vivera bypasses these issues by focusing on quality and customization. This allows us to achieve higher profit margins, and it also means that every single dress that we make has a buyer and is paid for before it's manufactured. But these cost savings just don't benefit consumers and the company bottom line. It benefits the environment as well. After the oil industry, the fashion industry creates the second most amount of waste, mostly due to creating and subsequently destroying merchandise that simply isn't in demand. At this point, Vivera is a leader, could be a leader in the clothing customization market because all of the competitors are small and none of them have the full service options that Vivera does. But we need to act now. We would like to move our limited prototype that you saw earlier into a more comprehensive beta. The beta will include greatly improved graphics as well as more customization options for the dress designs themselves and the game aspects.
Thank you. One question from the audience.
So we've looked at a lot of the competitors, and in fact, there's one in the men's market that's doing very well right now. It was created in 2009 by a 19 and a 21-year-old, and basically it was they had used specific measurements. All the people that we've seen before that do women's fashion, they either have the components where you get to pick the cuts, but then stick the cuts to standardized size 2s, size 4s, those dresses, and thus they don't fit, but they don't actually allow the users to just plug in their own measurements.
Before we get started on the next one, those of you who are standing, feel free to come on down and grab a seat. Just the clicker goes clicking through.
Okay. Can you hear me? Great. So, how many of you have seen Minority Report? It's okay if you haven't. It's the Tom Cruise flick. We built it. I kid you not. We're in talks with some of the world's largest search engines to unveil an algorithm that can predict human behavior individually for each one of you. So let's say, for example, you have a problem, right? Maybe you're an addict of some sort. I can tell you, we can tell you, within weeks, when, how, where, what day, the address of where you're going to offend next. If you're dating and you want to date someone, we can tell you within weeks who that person will be, where you'll take them, and what you're going to be doing. I'm not kidding, right? So this is our thing. This is how it works. This is a very sophisticated, patent-pending, PhD research algorithm that goes through, you enter with your data, right? And we have 4 things that we do. First, we do a personality analysis. This is how it works, right? So it's machine learning technology, sophisticated event prediction, results become data, yada, yada, you get the picture, right? So my favorite is the decision making. These, it's like a choose your own adventure. Each of these will be decisions. It updates every nanosecond. As you're moving through this, you can check your thing. If you want to be, say, Warren Buffett, we have a profile, right? Pick Warren Buffett, it says you're 2.5% to being like him. As you move through, it helps you make decisions. I'm not kidding. I love this, by the way. Right? A lot of you, when we did our research, so we have teams in Russia, China, and India that are working with search engines and whatever to market and build this. And we did a lot of research. One of the biggest things was people have no idea who they are, despite they may have a PhD in whatever. That's not really what they want to do. This actually tells you really who you are and what you should do without having to do some like Zamebio or whatever quiz about you want to be some sort of Avenger or some movie character or whatever, right? And one of my favorite things is the goal setting, right? You can actually set specific goals and it will tell you the decisions that you should make in order to reach those goals most effectively. This is also pretty impressive. People go through years of therapy, 10 years of therapy to figure out what a trigger is, and then they go through a chain analysis, right? So the therapist can tell them, by the way, don't do this, don't go here, don't smell this smell, whatever. We can do it in a nanosecond. We can tell you what those triggers are and give you alerts when you hit them, right? Maybe you get on Facebook and you fixate on some profile of some ex-girlfriend that leads to some drug abuse, we'll let you know. This is what it is. It's great. So the end result of this will be we are creating individual operating systems for every single person. So you wake up in the morning and it says, oh my gosh, you woke up 4 minutes. You get the picture. Question? Oh yes, we have a beta. We want you all to, you can all sign up. It's www.getelpis.com. You can sign up for the beta. We have it in Chinese, Russian, right? Everything. Getelpis.com. G-E-T. Elpis is the god of hope. Clever, right?
No, we just have one.
We're not kidding.
Thank you so
all right,
much,
thanks.
guys. And North Carolina Common Sense. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren,
And I'm Ian.
and we're part of the North Carolina Common Sense team.
Oh, so first off, I just want to start off with a quick overview of our goals. So we hope to really promote government transparency in a way that's very easy to understand and pretty straightforward for any type of user in North Carolina. And we really hope that this newfound understanding will lead to more intelligent and data-driven conversation amongst our users and their peers throughout North Carolina. And lastly, we really hope to do this staying bipartisan, which we can do by using a group of carefully selected resources and data sources.
So the development we've made so far, we have a team of student researchers and a visualizations team that's between here, Duke, Elon, and UNC. It's really a team effort, what we do. The student researchers look at like independent government agencies and look actually at how they're spending North Carolina citizens, their tax dollars, and like the progress they're actually making. And the visualizations team will come in and actually visualize it into these easy, kind of just look at it and you understand it quickly. It's for North Carolina citizens that just want to know where their taxpayer money is going and how they can make informed decisions about how to vote and how they can discuss this in an informed manner. So for example, last semester I did a project on the ENC Authority, which was designed to bring high-speed broadband access to all North Carolinians. So I looked actually where they were spending all their money and how much progress they actually made. And we put that right into visualizations. And what our ultimate goal is, we have a website that's very, very near being completed. And that's where we're going to share all of our visualizations and all of our policy memos, and that's going to be open to the public. We're also involved in several other competitions, such as the Big Ideas competition, and we've actually just been paired with a really great mentor. His name is Rival Trivaldi, and he's actually an appointee on the Obama administration, and he looks at private growth, and he's been really, really helpful and had great ideas for us. And as Ian mentioned before, we are carefully trying to be very bipartisan. We have a board that's comprised of faculty members here at Duke, UNC, Elon, and also political figures within North Carolina. And for everyone on the left, we also have someone on the right. And we also are partnering with several other government agencies, such as the Program Evaluation Division, the John Locke Foundation, which are like think tanks, and the Institute for Emerging Issues. So right now we are a non-for-profit. We're in the process of filing to become a recognized non-for-profit in the state of North Carolina. But some potential revenue streams that we've thought of is actually kind of contracting ourselves out and having private companies and government entities have to pay us to get access to our visualizations. And we could kind of tailor and do specific projects. Like they'd tell us what they want us to do and we would do it for them. And that's how we're thinking we would raise money.
Question from the audience? Yeah.
With the dual partisanship,
I believe I misspoke. We do have independent people on our board, actually.
Thank you guys again. Symphonize Me. And there's still seats at the front if you guys want to come down and take a seat.
Okay, so walking around the college campus, you're going to see all kinds of people, and one of those people will be a musician, I promise. With the student groups that we have here, there are hundreds of musicians, but a lot of people have never heard their music. And the reason for that is it's not your fault. The reason is because nothing right now on the market adequately addresses that problem. There's nothing on the internet right now that we can find that will easily help fans connect with musicians and musicians raise money to make music for their fans. For example, Small Town Records, a group at Duke. They have a bunch of great musicians, but a lot of us have probably never heard any of their names. Diadem, Mike Wang, Angie Lang, Will Bowman, Mobius. Why is that?
So as we said earlier, there does not exist a platform where we can just go and search for new musicians and support them. About 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, YouTube came into the scene, and that was very promising because it gave everyone the opportunity to share their own music. But nowadays, new artists are often crowded out by popular music. Like, why is it that everyone here knows about Rebecca Black's Friday, but not all of us know about Small Town Records artists? And with Symphonize Me, we believe that we can create a platform where new amateur musicians can get exposure, and at the same time, we as listeners, we can contribute to their projects and funding them. And also, right now, the new artists who can't afford expensive studio time or equipment, they currently go on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and we believe that this is not adequate because both Indiegogo and Kickstarter they require new artists to have perks such as CDs or merchandise, but oftentimes these artists cannot afford to produce this kind of merchandise. So we believe that Symphonize Me can create a specialized platform for these amateur musicians. And Hooman will talk to you about our business model.
A little bit really quickly about how we do it. These are screenshots of our website, which is getting close to completion. So up there you see there are different groups. You can click on a group. When you click on that group, it'll open up with a little blurb about them and any music that they've decided to put on there. Preview, there'll be a preview. You can buy it. You buy it, the music goes to the artist. 5% of it will go to Symphonize Me to keep Symphonize Me going, but the artist gets everything else. And so that's why we believe that it creates bonds between musicians, and it's really the true musician's outlet. Right, so we plan to start on our own campus and on UNC's campus and places in the area. And we're going to try to attempt to get groups such as Small Town Records to help us put musicians on there and to help spread via social networks. We're also going to try to speak to music stores in the Durham area and see if they'll help us publicize ourselves and advertise, because the majority of our stuff with our startup will be advertisement, as you mentioned, because once it's up and running, Kickstarter and other groups have shown that you can very easily get people to continue coming back. Thank you.
Powerhouse Protein.
All right, so I know what you all are thinking. What the hell is a meathead doing up here after all these geniuses were on stage? Well, especially when there's 100 other protein companies out there, let me ask you, is there one product that you would feel safe taking every day for the rest of your life, knowing it would benefit your overall health? No, a product you feel safe giving your kids, the rest of your family, and at the same time as effective as anything else on the market? Well, if you answered that guy on the right, then I think you should see a psychologist. And if you answered that guy on the left, it doesn't have a complete amino acid profile, so you would never have the maximized gains that you would get from most of the products on the market. Yet 80% of the market are active lifestyle users that would benefit from a holistic product that would improve long-term health as well as short-term gains. But why isn't it out there? The freaking retailers. So 85% of all sales in this market is driven through big retail outlets, 3 big retail chains to be precise. And the reason they don't want one holistic product is because they got to give you your protein supplement, and then you get your multivitamins, you get your BCAAs, your carb cutters. By the time you check out, you look like you have a chemistry kit in your shopping cart. Well, instead of that, why not build a whole product that'll benefit you right now, today, and will benefit your health for the rest of your life, taking it every single morning, every single night. And that's our vision at Powerhouse Protein. So think of it as like your little multivitamin, all the protein that you need for the day with low carb, low fat, low lactase, only 40 calories that aren't from protein. And that's just our proof of concept product. Another thing that's important about what we do is we go directly to the consumer. So despite interest from Vitamin Shop, we turn down even talking to them because we want to go directly to you guys with the subscription model. So you buy a product, we send you something every month, you take it, you love it, you look sexy, you feel sexy, everyone wins. And if you don't take my word for it, then listen to this little guy. So I was fortunate enough in high school to visualize this problem, and I spent 3 years working with a top chemist in the industry developing the Total Fitness supplement. Now this is not a protein powder. This is exactly that, a total fitness supplement, something that is well-rounded and beautiful and good for you in the long run, just like all you, well-rounded, beautiful. But and there was no marketing done for this product, not even social media marketing, just my big mouth blabbing off the whole time. And yet we have retailers asking me to put this in the stores, and we sold, now it's been 400 of our first 500 bottle batch in just 3 months. And so with your help, we can develop an entire line and capitalize on this 40% year-over-year growth sports nutrition market. But more important than that to me is giving people an option, knowing that they don't have to take a sports nutrition product that will detract from their overall health, but every day they can get healthier and still improve their gains. And that's why we created Powerhouse Protein, and that's why I need all of your beautiful people's help. Thank you.
It's healthy as taken as a supplement every day all your life. I guess what kind of evidence do you guys have that that's in fact?
Right, so I am not the smartest guy, so I had to go talk to a lot of people in the industry about that. And I was fortunate enough to be connected with these people. So that chemist that I worked with for 40 years, I asked him, you guys can't possibly test this product for 10, 20 years, so what do you guys do? And they're like, we look at the raw materials because these raw materials, the same raw materials have been used in this industry since it really kicked off in the 80s. We look at the raw materials and how they've been used in certain products and those products' effects over the years. And so what I did, most companies, what they'll do is put the raw material sheet in front of them, look at the cheapest product that gets the numbers on the label, and they'll put that in their product. What I did is went straight to the paper, straight to the research. So I read over 40 papers on not every ingredient in here, but 12 of the 14 ingredients in there. And that's what led me to realize the long-term health effects. The short-term ones are pretty well known, like whey protein isolate. You take that, you get huge. But as far as what's going to benefit you in your whole life, that's what I really need to do the research in, and that's what I'm trying to get the patent for.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, my man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Fish Cycle.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Dew, and I'm here to present Fish Cycle to you. So, fishing and fish processing is currently the largest industry in Alaska, and it generates about 4.1 billion pounds of fish annually. And the most common processing done on this is filleting. This filleting is estimated to result in about 1.25 million tons of waste annually, and this waste is currently a huge inconvenience for processors. This is often dumped to the ocean and creates a huge environmental issue. Now, on the other side of the world is China, the largest consumer of fish meal and fish oil, and it is currently on the rise as people become more increasingly health conscious. I'm no genius, but it seems like there's a missing link. This missing link is exactly what Fish Cycle is here to address. Fish Cycle will operate in the following way. We will acquire fish waste and byproducts at a price from the fish processors and then dry them, package them, and ship them to China for distribution as well as production into fish meal and fish oil. In the long term, we hope to establish our own plants in both Alaska as well as China to completely provide a chain of services. So over the past few years, me and a partner who unfortunately couldn't be here today have been working on various patents as well as technologies to better operations as well as become more energy efficient. So here are some of the progress that we have achieved as well as we're currently working on more. So several key competitive advantages. One, first and foremost, our product is second to none. We are acquiring fish byproduct from the deep Alaskan Ocean, subject to minimal contamination as well as high in omega-3 oil content. Secondly, we have a stable supply chain. The fish processing industry is year-round in Alaska, and this enables us as well as our consumers to have a stable business going year-round. Lastly, over the past few years, we have been in talks with fish processing companies as well as Port Authority in order to gain access and further understand the industry, and we currently have established processors willing to take on the service as well as potential buyers in China established. So here's a breakdown of some of the key metrics as well as financials for our company. We break even in the 17th month, and we expect sales to pick up exponentially afterwards. Thank you very much for your time, and any questions? Yeah, so the drying process will be just very simple. We're probably just gonna, the idea is to just blow dry it with, so that kind of reduces the, like you said, the reduction in oil, omega-3 oil content.
So let's give a round of applause to all the pitchers, presenters.
All right, now we are going to do the audience choice vote. So in a second, we are going to bring up the poll everywhere vote. What you are going to do is each team will have a code. You're going to text that code in the body of the message to the number that will be presented on the screen. We're going to have 1 minute to vote. Just a reminder, voting is only for people who are here. You have like a minute to vote. Don't try to email it or post it on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. We're going to quickly confirm with a hand count after we see who the winner might be. And then whoever the winner is will come up. We'll take a picture, and that'll be the end.
Awesome. So the audience choice winner is Campus Companion. Please come on down to take a photo.
Thank you, everybody, so much for coming tonight, really supporting Duke Entrepreneurship and the Duke Startup Challenge. 2 quick reminders. 1, the Indiegogo campaigns for all the teams are still going through March 8th. Continue to support them. And the round 1 deadline for next year's Startup Challenge will be October of this year, October 2014. Everybody have a good night.